Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about modules, modular email design. My name is Alexei and I'm the customer support representative at Stripo service. Also, let me introduce my colleague Victoria. She will help me to answer your questions in the chat. So please feel free to send us and drop us a line if you want to know more about today's topic. Before we get started, there are a few bullets what we are going to talk and I hope learn for today. So about modular design, what does that mean in general terms? So what are modules in Stripo and how to create those modules and utilize them further, and also how you can make most of the two possible approaches. So one of that approach is when you want to drop a module in the new campaign, in the new email, and you want that module to inherit styles, the general settings from that email. So let's say that the styles, links, etc. should be dynamic for that module. And also there is another approach when I want that module to look exactly as I planning to create it, and from template to template where I will drop it, so everything should remains unchanged. So that's completely another approach, and I will show you how you can do that. And also some advanced features of the Stripo modules. So because let's say that module, that's some general notion, but we can include a lot of different features and functionality within the module. And when we do some actions, then we may call such type of module advanced because like it will do some more technical stuff. That's very interesting. And also a few thoughts regarding the teamwork, how to, like, when you other team members participate in the same environment, how you can, share, copy modules across different projects, so you don't need to recreate from scratch within each project individually. Okay, so why modular design matter? When I was preparing for today's webinar, I've took a closer look with this article written by the colleague of mine, Anton Didu. So if you want to go deeper with that topic, I may advise you to find that article in Stripo blog. In that article, my colleague described different problems and how modules may help you to solve them. So, but let me just briefly mention two of them. The slow email design process, that means that, let's say that there is some general statistic from the start to the end point, it took around 2 weeks to create new campaign. Each campaign, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, so not very efficient time usage. So definitely and absolutely modules will help you to speed up the creation process. Even though you may create entire template just, with modules. You can drop a module, header, footer, content part, so that might be very quick process. And also one other common, let's say, problem, tricky brand consistency maintenance. What does it mean? That means that a lot of companies, they have a very strict rule brand book, and designer have to follow everything. So pick up the correct brand colors, font size, like size for heading 1, heading 2, etc. And if you do not have that knowledge within your head yet, it means that you have to refer to that book frequently. So that also slow down the creation process. And modules might help you to like solve that task, because when very seasoned, experienced designer created the modules and test it, check all out, like all styles within it, you or your colleagues just might, drop that module and don't be worried about styles. Okay, move on. Let's talk about what are modules in Stripo. So if we have to define what are module and what are template and what is the difference, that's very simple. The template, that's say like an entire layout, the blueprint, and based on the template, you may create new campaign. Template itself may include modules. So you may like break entire template into bricks and create modules. So this is the difference. But finally, those two instances, like module and template, help you to speed up the creation process. That's also true. Okay, and let me define, put into two buckets something that we can call as a basic module and advanced module. So let me probably jump into that email. This is the prepared examples and what I want to show you. For instance, I have a header example of a simple static module. I have other header example, a static one, and also the footer. So they are basic because when I need to use it, I'm going to drop it and it will looks like that. That's it. So here I may click and get access to my personal modules library. And as you can see, so I can just simply scroll down and check what modules I already have. There is very much flexibility how I can organize this library. So there is a lot of different features, but about that a bit later. For now, let me show you that this is very simple. So this is the module, my header. I can just drop it in the needed place. I can pick up this one and I will see the same library of modules through any other template or email that belong to the same project. So this is very, very much convenient approach that may help me to create the new design just faster. Okay, so let me remove those two elements from my email. Also, let me show you that I may search by name here. I can just simply type the name and we'll see what modules I may pick up from the library. Also, I may check by module ID and module tag. So when I hover this info section, I will see some additional meta information. So this is the stripe. The type of the element is stripe. Okay. This module has a name and then it may also contain tags. In this case, this is just a one tag presented. And also, as you can see, the module has ID. So all of that allows me to very flexibly organize and streamline my module library. Okay, so now let me show you more advanced modules. For instance, there is a smart structure. So when I hover, you can see that this, sorry, not structure, but container. So this container is smart. We call it smart because such type of element can do specific work. So for instance, what this smart module might do, when I have a common product card or blog post, for instance, and from time to time I need to use it, but just only update the image, the heading, the paragraph, the link within it. So the design remains the same, but I just need to update the information. And for me, would be very convenient to be able to do that with the smart structure. So let me show you how that might work. For example, I've prepared the example, and if I need to just to simply replace the data, what can I do? I can put a new link here, click to get button, and as you can see, the image is updated, the information, the heading also, and the link as well. This is what smart structure do, or smart container, or even smart stripe. But that is a very brief introduction. This is more technical topic, and definitely you have to spend some time to understand how to make it work. There is some technical nuances. This is not a rocket science, definitely, but a bit more time is required to scratch the basics. But let's say we call this module smart for the specific purpose. And also, if you're familiar with the Stripo API, so in that way we also may use smart properties. So let me show you that when there is a API documentation, and that's by itself standalone topic and a bit more technical. But if you're familiar and if you're interested with that, you will have to utilize smart properties to make it work. Okay. Also, let me show you the next advanced module, dynamic module. What does it mean? For the certain element within the editor, I can activate the feature display condition, this one. And in my case, I see two options on the list. That means that previously I've added those conditions into my project settings and now can just very conveniently utilize in the editor environment. But if I want, I can choose the custom option and add custom condition, particularly for this template, or save within the module. Conditions do a certain job. So when you export the template to your system, before sending, the system analyzing and compiling the code and will read the condition code and dynamically insert specific information. So I mean that you may have header section the same, you may have a footer section the same, but the content part might be dynamic. And based on the condition, as you can see here, I have this icon and may see that condition has been applied to this structure. Okay. And also I see that condition has been applied to the below structure as well. And this is just a brief example. And let me say you this, that Stripo editor do not process the conditions code. You may just add this code in the project settings or directly within the editor environment. And after exporting, this code will wrap up the certain element. So, and our system won't change in any way this line of code here and here. So that also more advanced topic, but you can very conveniently use that feature within the Stripo. And also let me show you the synchronized module, one more advanced module. So as you can see, there is additional icon, and when I click on it, I see that this module is synchronized. What does it mean? It means that if I will drop that module like into 10, 20 templates, and in one day, I just need to change the link within the button, or need to replace the image or social media icon, etc. If that element is a synchronized module, then I can do that. So I can update the information within one module. Then let me do something just to show you. So I can drop something here. As you can see, the module now is the sync module is off. So what I can do, I can update or restore from the library. In this case, I do not need to update the module, but if I do, so that action will synchronize and update information in all other templates where this module has been used previously. So also, we do have a dedicated tutorials on this regard, how exactly you can use it and how that feature work. That's also more advanced and more technical stuff. Okay, and there is example of interactive module from additional Stripo tool. I will later show you that too and how you can create such type of modules. This module contain interactive element. So as you can see, here is an icon that prompt me that this one is AMP HTML. And if all requirements are met, that means that I will able to play into that game within my email client. The second one, the following, is interactive fallback. And also this type of module contain web versions, the static web version. Let me show you how that work on the preview. As you can see, I am here within this tab related to AMP HTML. And this is my wheel of fortune. And I can interact. So here you may put some information, some discount, etc. Another type of interactive module is NPS survey. So I can leave the mark and submit the answer. or also I can play the questionnaire game, and that's just like this. A few months ago, we had a dedicated webinar about that interactive module generator. I may advise you to have a look, but we also will check that tool as well a bit later. So these are the examples. Also, before we put into practice how we can create basic modules and advanced modules, let me show you one more feature that is currently under developing. So what you see, this is an image reference, and soon there will be one more advanced feature that will allow you to lock the design for the specific element. So once that feature is enabled, you will see additional icon just like this one, and that is very beneficial from the teamwork standpoint, and will help me to prevent any changes within the module by any other team members. So, but as I said, this feature is currently under developing. And let's say that how can else modules might be beneficial from the teamwork standpoint. For instance, I want to share this header, this module, into some other project just to not recreate from scratch each time. So I can open my modules library, and there is two options: share to project and copy to project. The difference is very simple. When I share to any other project, from that project, I will able only to drop the module. When I copy to other project, I will able to uh, do changes, update module, delete it, etc. So that I will have a copy of that module within other project. So let me choose the test modules. Okay. As you can see, the system already copied that module. And if I, so here I've chosen this project, as you can see, uh, test modules. Here it is. Let me open an email and let's check together if we can use the module from another project. So yeah, here it is. And if I click here, I still have two options: share or copy. That means that this module participate and behave as a separate instance within this one. So I can do all the same actions with this module. But let me check if I can add it. So as you can see, I have that menu here. I can change the module name. I can add some tags, change the ID of that module and just simply update it. Or also I can save as a new one. So this feature, copying and sharing, very beneficial from the teamworks standpoint. As you can see, I can just simply drop it within new layouts as many times as needed. Also, let me jump to this project and show you that there is the team section where I can invite a new member to my organization. When I do that, I have to choose a certain role for that new member. And based on that rules, I can restrict certain actions. So for example, as you can see the descriptions divided into account and editor tabs, and there is a modules tab here. And for writer and proofreader, as you can see, manage modules option is restricted. So those members with these or this role will only able to view and use modules without ability to do any changes. So knowing this also may help me to streamline and organize my workflow for effective team work collaboration. Also, if I have Pro subscription or Prime, I can create a new custom role. So with the basic or medium, I can only choose from the list of predefined roles. So all that knowledge, the ability to share a copy, invite member and provide with a certain role, and a brand new feature that is coming soon to lock the design. This is altogether a powerful additional tool for effective teamwork. Let's move on, and I'm going to show you how we can create basic modules and follow two different approaches. So just to catch the idea, I will keep it very simple, and let's create a header module example. I will pick up a certain icon. Let's imagine that this is a company image. I want to resize it, make it smaller. For example, let's put some text block. I also can drop the social networks block, etc., etc. I can drop button block. So that's depend how I want it to be. But for now, I just want to keep it very, very simple. Company name here, something like that. And this module should inherit the general settings from general styles within the new template when I will drop it. And I will create exactly the same one below, but show you two different approaches. So this will be the heading 3. As you can see, when I choose this option, the text size changed because there is some default settings within general styles in the heading section here. So I can define how my heading should look like here in the general settings. For that module below, I will apply some background color. I will do this text also as a heading 3, but I will explicitly change the size to 22 just to show you how that works. Also, this structure has a certain padding, as you can see here. This is the default value also from that general. For that module, I will do that explicitly. So 25, 25, 25, and here let's put 25. That's very important to understand the difference. So here we do nothing with paddings, and here I do that very explicitly. Okay, and let's save that as a module. for example, test 1. Well, the name should be as descriptive as possible. But for me, as a support representative, for test purpose, and when I need to quickly test if everything works properly, we usually pick up some very short names. It's like just a force of habit, but I may advise you to organize properly your module library and do not use such short names. But just for test purposes, I will keep it like that. Okay, so, and let's save it. And let's do the same with the module below. So test2 and choose the same category. All that additional controls, tags, ID, description, allows me to properly organize everything. So that's very beneficial when I have a big modules library. Okay, and let's save it as well. So we have two modules, two new basic modules. Let me leave this email and create new basic empty layout. And just drop the module. So here is my modules library, and let me drop those two just like this. Okay, I will delete that strap. Now, two important things. So general styles, let me explicitly do changes in the general sections. So that will change, that's CSS part of the code. And for instance, when I do this and then drop new structure, that structure will inherit the settings, the paddings from general. But the same is true for the module. Let me show you with this one. As you see, this one dynamically inherited values from the general settings. But for this module, the padding, so this is the structure element. As you remember, we saved stripe, this element, but the structure within this stripe, we have explicitly set up this amount. And as you can see, that remains unchanged. That's a very important part to understand those two approaches, how I want it to be. Okay, so I want that that module dynamically inherit settings from the general, where I want it to appear exactly as it is. Now, as you remember, this text is a heading 3. We did nothing to this value. That is default value from general, and we explicitly changed that settings. Now, if I will jump to the general styles and get access to heading section, please check what will happen once I do the changes here. Okay, so heading 3, I'm going to change the value and make it bigger. As you can see, this action effect to this heading, because that is like changes dynamically, but we lock the changes for this one. That's, in a simple words, exactly those two approaches, two different approaches that I can follow. Okay, let's move further, and I want to show you how to create from scratch a few advanced modules. Let's get started with the interactive modules generator. Let me show you how you can find it. So on the main Stripo web page, under the product section, there is a gamification for emails. This is additional independent tool, which is, by the way, belong to the Stripo ecosystem. By independent, I mean that those modules generated here, they are compatible with the Stripo editor, but they are independent. So you may use the code of that modules in any other platform tool to put that code in design somewhere else. But also, as I said, those modules editor compatible, Stripo editor compatible. And once you generate a module, you may, in a convenient way, save it to your Stripo account and then drop in any other template or email design. Also, let me mention that there is a in the bottom section, there is dedicated articles how to utilize that tool. So reading materials. For now, let me show you with the Wheel of Fortune. As I've mentioned previously, recently, a few months ago, we had a dedicated webinar exactly about this tool, how to use from different perspectives. For now, let me keep it very simple. When you choose a certain game, you may see some default values here, and this is the beautiful part because it is very intuitive. As you see, there is the section is divided for AMP version, interactive HTML, and a fallback. So this topic includes much more nuances with all that AMP topic, interactive fallback, how that works, and how you can utilize it. But for now, the idea is as follows. Then I can, for example, interact directly here. This is what user finally should able to do in email client when receive such type of email. And let's try to find this section. So as you can see, this is the section 4. The discount is here, so I can edit this information and this. So that's completely under my control. I also can play with a general appearance. And then finally, I can save the module. There are also a few options how you can do that, but let me just save it to my Stripo account. So the system choose the last active project and create a separate email and also a new module. So as you can see, there is my game here. This one, the same as those that I showed you previously. So if I will jump to the preview, I will be able to interact here, and I can switch between HTML version and AMP HTML. But as I said previously, so you see 2 versions, but there is included 3 of them. The third one is the web version. And there is some technical nuance why exactly we see only 2, not 3 of them. Okay, and let me jump to my library, modules library, and I will see the recently created Wheel of Fortune module. So you may see a few of them because that one exists from the previous webinar, but the logic is as follows. And for now, I will able to drop that interactive chunk, interactive module in any other template. So this is in a simple words how you can utilize interactive module generator. Let's move on. Next advanced module that I'm going to show you which we may call the dynamic module, because I'm going to add the conditions code within it. So for that, we have to create some kind of product card. This is a good example for that explanation. So let's add an image of the good. Let's add some description or title. We can add both. Also button should be here. And okay, so this is my product card. The difficulty and the variety completely depend on your purposes and on your needs. This is just a quick example how exactly we can add the condition code. So I've clicked on that element. I can see that this is a structure level. Also, I can navigate like this. So I can click on the image block and then there is an arrow and I can go up to the container and then go up to the structure. Okay, scroll down. There is that feature, display conditions. And so what I need to do is just activate. And for this example, I'm going to keep it as a custom. As you remember, I told you that I will see the options on the list when I previously added them to the project setting level. That is very convenient and useful approach when I need to use conditions frequently. So, but if I just need to do that once or to do that from time to time, and I want to have the custom condition within the module, this is the approach to follow. So let's give some name, mail newsletter option. I can also give description. And we have to add the code before and after. So this code will wrap up the needed element. In this case, I want to add the condition code based on the male recipient's gender. So only male group of recipients will see this product card. And in this way, I may combine a lot of different product cards, and based on the condition, so I can separate the logic based on gender. So we can do that also based on age, based on country, region, etc., etc. So generally speaking, the conditions, this is the powerful tool to have. We are considering a very simple example for now. Okay, also the Stripo platform and system does not know what to do with this condition. So the Stripo editor know nothing about what and how that should work. This condition should come from your email service provider, from your system that you use for sending emails. So if you want to dive deeper with that topic, the good place to start is to request your system's support team on this regard to provide you with tutorials about conditions. In the editor and in the within the Stripo account, you may add those conditions in a convenient way and utilize them further. So as you can see, this one is a custom. We have the name. Just skip for now the description and the condition code that will wrap up the element. That's it. As you can see, the condition is already here, present. And so this icon is helped me, and also additional frame helped me to understand that some extra functionality has been applied. And the icon tell me exactly what functionality was applied. Okay, and clicking on that, I can also open one more time. I can disable if needed. I can do some adjustments here, but for now I need to save this structure as a module. Okay, so let's give some name, module with condition within, but your name could be more descriptive. Also, I'm going to choose the category. Let's say the product cards, and probably we can add tags, one tag. Okay, let's save it. Good. The module is already exists. I can leave this email, open any other that belong to the same project. And if I've done everything correct, I will able to find that module within my module library. Let's search by the name. Okay, as you can see, the module is here. So I can just drop it. I can replace the image within this email. I can change the text, change the link, etc. So, but the condition is already presented here, as you can see. And let's consider one more example, that synchronized module. So we may call it also advanced module. And for testing purposes and for demonstration purposes, I will create some new stripe, for instance, based on the module we've created previously. So let me just duplicate it, put it here. So this is another stripe, and I want to save it as a module. Think example text. So let's also choose the category, the header, and enable this option. When we do that and save such module, you will see that additional icon appeared, clicking on which I may, like at general, I may see that sync off. That means that the synchronization option is not activated yet completely. So this process required a few steps. So let's do that. This is a very straightforward process. And as you can see now, the sync is on. That's good. So let's leave this template. And for instance, let's just create some new layout. If I go to my modules library and drop that module, when I do that, you will see that sync option is off. This is like also the part of the logic. And let's imagine that I used this header in 20 different layouts. And one day I need to, make some changes, to change logo image or company name, etc., or some social media icon. But let's play with this text block. some other company name. And what we need to do is to click on sync off icon. And I have a few options here. I can restore from the library. I can make unsynchronized. And in this way, that module will behave as a common general element. And I can update. So I have to do that very explicitly. So in this case, I exactly want to do that. So update the module. Now sync is on. And let's back to the previous email, this one. As you can see, the text is updated for that module. So, and the same will be true if I will use that module 5, 10, 20 times, does not matter how many times. So the logic is the same. We have dedicated article on this regard, and I definitely may recommend to dive deeper with reading materials to understand how that works. That's not a rocket science, but it's a bit more complicated stuff. But this is exactly how that may help you to speed up the creation process, and that's additional effective tool for teamwork. So the synchronized module may significantly help you to streamline the workflows within the team.
Well, last but not least for today's webinar, what I'm going to show you is how to use AI feature within the smart element. So it might be saved as a module, okay, and when you drop it, you can utilize AI. The point is that we are going to consider AI for the smart element. So let me, for that example, pick up some module that already exists. This one is a good example. So basically, I have a module. This is a Stripe that I have within. I have smart container, another one, and the third one. Okay. And how to find the AI feature for smart element. When I click on it, there is a data tab. In this case, it is activated. And as you can see, there is additional improve with AI icon. So what it does is the feature is designed to help you improve the performance and clarity of structured content within smart modules. And it leverages AI to optimize headlines, descriptions, and text fields collectively. What I mean by that AI will not just only consider separately this text and then these text. It will analyze all the text content together, and we may say that this is more as a like holistic approach. And so let me show you how that works. Just like click here and improve with AI. So, and you will see some other heading and maybe some improvement with the text block. I can play around. I can click one more time and see what AI can, how AI can assist me with that. So if I want to jump back to the previous version, I can either do that through the undo button or just like this, or through the version history. So that's it, how you can use AI within the smart module. And probably I'm going to stop right here. This is a lot of material we have covered for today's webinar. Thanks for all of you who stayed with me so far, and for those who will watch that webinar in Stripo's YouTube channel. And please feel free to request support team if you need some assistance with modules, etc. And I wish you the best rest of your day. Let's keep in touch. Good luck.